Mayor Brandon Johnson finds himself in the crosshairs of Trump's DOJ after he was caught on camera talking about his hiring practices. And what just happened with the USDA and a massive food stamp fraud. We're going to talk about all those things tonight on It's Culture. Let's get it.
We gon' always win. Promise that that's not a promise, yeah, that is a threat. You know that I promise to bring the team commas. When the whole team win, that's when you flex. Win, and I'ma do it again. Watch me win, then watch me do it again. Tell 'em I can't take no loss. My team hold no L's, no. Aiming for it.
Welcome back to It's Culture. My name is Mark Stevenson, and you are tuned in with your boy tonight, and I appreciate you all taking time out to watch this. Tonight, we're going to be discussing two topics, really. Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago, then found himself in some serious trouble, and an investigation got launched for something that I think is very, very frivolous. And then, as I was saying in the intro, the USDA, massive food stamp fraud. But I'm not gonna hold you all and bore you all with all that. But if you could do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can get all the updates. 14,700 and counting is where we at. And all you got to do is hit the subscribe button to help me get to 15,000. That's where we're trying to get to. I'm trying to be at 15,000 before the end of June. So I just need 300 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. It don't cost you anything. If your friends haven't subscribed yet, you send this to them and you tell them to subscribe. And if you just happen to be on YouTube and you stumbled across this, hit that subscribe button as well. If this is your first time watching this, my name is Mark Stevenson. As I said in the intro, I am the host of It's Culture, where we talk about everything from sports to politics and entertainment, because I think it all evolves around the culture. And I give my own analysis on how I view things. Some of it you're going to agree with, some of it you may not. But that's the beauty of this, because all opinions are welcome. That's right. I am nonpartisan. I don't care for either political side. I just tell it how it is on this show, how I feel. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But your comments, I don't delete any. I post them all. So if you make a comment in regards to my videos, it's gonna be out there, and we're gonna have a discussion, because I believe that that's the only way that this country can have any semblance of civilization and harmony, is to have the tough conversation. So welcome to all you all. Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago, was at a church speaking to a congregation. He was being interviewed by, it seems like the pastor of the church. And they were talking about the black community and upward mobility and opportunities and things of that nature. And you know, Brandon Johnson has been very, very critical of the president. He's been very critical of the president. So he, of all people, has been under scrutiny because of his stance on sanctuary cities. And I have covered that stuff because I think it's bogus. And I think Brandon Johnson is doing a horrible job when it comes to that. Chicago has a serious problem with migrants, and it's a sanctuary city. And it's just chaos. Residents don't like it either. So any chance that the Trump administration gets to go after Brandon Johnson, you know they are. So this is what happened. We're going to go to the news in Chicago, because I want y'all to hear it from them. And let's just see what Brandon Johnson said. They got the DOJ after him now.
Late today, the U.S. Justice Department launched an investigation into the city of Chicago and its hiring practices.
It centers on whether discrimination is at play inside City Hall, given the large number of, quote, black officials the DOJ says have been hired by the Johnson administration.
Okay, y'all just heard this. He's under, and they have launched an inquiry into his administration because of the number of black people that he has hired. black people.
CBS News Chicago political reporter Chris Ty joins us now to sort out what we know at this point.
Joe and Erica, in Department of Justice terms, this is lightning fast reaction to comments made yesterday by Mayor Johnson at a church in Woodlawn. He was talking about the number of black officials in his administration. Here was the comment that set this all in motion.
The deputy mayor is a black woman. Department of Planning and Development is a black woman. Infrastructure deputy mayor is a black woman. Chief operations officer is a black man. Budget director is a black woman. Senior advisor is a black man. And I'm laying that out because when you ask how do we ensure that our people get a chance to grow their business, having people in my administration that will look out for the interest of everyone, and everyone means you have to look out for the interests of black folks.
The Justice Department citing that exact moment in this letter to Mayor Johnson today, saying if these kind of hiring decisions are being made for top-level positions in your administration, then it begs the question whether such decisions are also being made for lower-level positions.
I have never in my life seriously, DOJ, this is what you all are going to say. We're going to talk. I'm going to give my take on this one. I'm not really a fan of Brandon Johnson, but I got to come to his defense in this one. And we're going to talk about it. So I want y'all to hear this because if you've been following my channel, you know I get on these mayors, especially the black ones, when it comes to things that they're doing in office that's nefarious. But Brandon, this one here, I got you, bro. I got you.
Title VII of the Civil Rights Act prevents employment discrimination, but there are major exceptions, including hiring at places of worship and political appointments, like Johnson's senior staff that he listed Sunday.
They would not be considered employees under Title VII. So even if it were true that he was going out of his way to hire people of a particular race, that would not violate the law.
Carolyn Shapiro from the Chicago Kent College of Law says the DOJ assumption that since Johnson's senior staff is mostly black, that there's discrimination at play is a leap.
It is a leap. It doesn't fall up under the Civil Rights Act. So we're going to keep going.
It's an enormous leap to say that because Brandon Johnson's top deputies in policymaking positions are African American, that the city is discriminating on the basis of race in its hiring of ordinary non-policymaking employees.
Our people hire our people.
Mayor Johnson, who's been called to Capitol Hill by conservative legislators angry over Chicago's sanctuary city status, has been a repeated target of the Trump White House. Johnson has himself compared Trump policies to terrorism. Late today, his team saying Mayor Johnson is proud to have the most diverse administration in the history of our city. Our administration reflects the diversity and values of Chicago. Unfortunately, the current federal administration does not reflect either. Late today, the mayor's team offered this racial makeup of his 105 employee staff. 34% are black, 30% white, 23% Hispanic, 7% Asian, 5% two or more ethnicities. The DOJ, by the way, is asking the mayor to reach out to continue the investigation and provide materials as they ask for it. And of course, we'll be following it every step of the way.
All right.
So that's what they're looking at. So just because he said he hired this person is black, this person is black, this person is black. Hey, we in office, right? We in office. They're coming after him. Nobody has ever questioned the hiring practices of anybody else when it comes to their administrations. Because the same could be said. Now, it's funny that the DOJ is coming after him for these comments, but nobody's looking at Trump's administration. Nobody's looking at anybody else that's in Congress to see how many black people or, if they're white, how many white people they have in their administration. If they're Asian, how many Asians they have working. Why is it always an issue when it's black people? That's because there are people in government right now that are working at the White House that wrote Project 2025 that don't believe that black people should be in positions of power. Now, I'm not a fan of Brandon Johnson at all. I don't like his sanctuary city policy. That's pretty much it. And the fact that he ballooned the budget, he ballooned the deficit that they have in Chicago because of it. I believe that was, he shouldn't have prioritized that. He should have just, hey, let them come in the city and get them, But he wanted to make Chicago a sanctuary city. I didn't agree with that. But in this regard here, there is no there. And they're trying to make it there because there's people, like I said, that don't want black folks in positions of power. They don't care about the DOJ said, their policy, if your hiring practices at the top is like this, what is it like at the lower level? Who cares? Who cares? It doesn't violate any law. If his whole administration was black, it doesn't violate anything. Nobody says anything when the administrations are all white. Nobody. No one. Did we not just see the freshmen, the interns for the Republican Party? Do y'all want to be? Go Google it. I should have had that photo ready that just came to me. I should have had that photo ready for this video. Did anybody say anything? Did they question why there was no diversity amongst the group? That there were no minorities, no black folks in the group? No. Nobody questioned anything. If we go around Washington, D.C. and go look at some of these Republican lawmakers, are we going to see any black people in there? What about Latinos? Maybe some, depending on who they are. Ted Cruz may have some. Who knows? But I guarantee you peruse around, you go walk around, you go see how many of them working. We just saw their interns. They ain't none. So ain't nobody questioning that. So why y'all coming after Brandon Johnson? This has nothing to do with his hiring practices. This has everything to do with them trying to come after him for his sanctuary city policies. And they're using this as a Trojan horse to try to come in and do some other stuff. In this regard, Brandon Johnson didn't do anything wrong. I just think that it's absolutely stupid and dumb, and it's borderline racist. It might be racist to even insinuate this and then try to launch a probe just because he decided to say, yeah, I got black folks working for me. Giving them opportunity they may not have gotten. Even though they're qualified, I'm pretty sure you go looking. I guarantee you, it's not like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who came out of her mouth and said she didn't even read a bill that she just supported, and if she would have read it, she would have voted no on it. She would have been in complete opposition to it. Signing it, voting for bills, not even reading them. Yep. That sounds like quality. That sounds like quality to me, right? Don't sound like a DE&I hire, right? No, they're doing this because they don't want to see black folks in positions where we can make significant change in departments. Now, you got to be qualified, and when we get these jobs, we got to do the job. So, Brandon got to stop. He got to stop putting his foot in his mouth. But in this regard, there's no dare there. And I believe that the DOJ is just coming after him simply because he went after Trump and he's been talking trash about Trump. So, but y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about this. Y'all let me know. Because I don't think there's no dare there, and I think this is stupid. There's better things the DOJ should be doing besides trying to go after him for some comments he made that they heard him say at an event. It's stupid. But what's not stupid is USDA employee and 5 others are charging a multi-million-dollar food stamp fraud and bribery scheme. Excuse me. This just happened. They just got indicted last Thursday. And I want y'all to hear the news first, but then we're gonna read I'm gonna show y'all what the press release was from the DOJ in regards to this. So we're gonna see what it says.
Tonight, 6 people are now charged with a huge fraud and bribery scam targeting food stamps. Listen to this. One of the arrested people in this, a USA employee, that's the government agency that oversees food stamp benefits. According to the Justice Department, the group set up a network that supplied approximately 160 unauthorized EBT terminals to stores across the New York area. Those terminals then illegally processed more than $30 million in EBT transactions. And the USDA employee who's charged actually worked in the division responsible for identifying food stamp fraud. Earlier this month, we highlighted a national scam in our special report, Faces of the Forgotten. Thousands of people in Alabama have had millions of dollars stolen from their EBT accounts. And for the last 5 months, they say they have not been reimbursed.
And this is going on all across the country, too. There are a lot of people reporting massive food stamp fraud, and it came from this department. And it was a black woman. Yeah. I was going to show her picture, but I'm not, because yeah. But I want y'all to see this. I want y'all to see this indictment. So let's see it. So here we are. This is a press release from the Department of Justice. As you can see at the top, it says USDA employee and 5 others are charged in a multi-million-dollar food stamp fraud and bribery scheme. So we're going to go through this. I want y'all to see this part right here where it says in the middle, superseding indictment charges 6 individuals in connection with a sprawling food and bribery scheme that generated over $66 million in unauthorized transactions under the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, colloquially known as food stamps. This is one of the largest food stamp frauds in U.S. history. The defendants, Michael Keogh, Mohammed Nalafa, Omar Arashidi, Gamal Obed, Ahmad Arashidi, and Arlesa Davis are charged with conspiracy to steal government funds and to misappropriate U.S. Department of Agriculture benefits, among others charges. Davis, a USDA employee, is additionally charged with bribery and honest services fraud. So she was a USDA employee. They were going around setting up the terminals at these spots, ripping off food stamps, right? So, started in 2019, Keogh orchestrated a network that supplied approximately 160 unauthorized EBT terminals to stores across New York to illegally process more than 30 million in EBT transactions. Working with his co-defendants, y'all see their names there, they submitted approximately 200 fraudulent USDA applications, misappropriated USDA license numbers, and in some cases, doctoring application documents to obtain EBT terminals for unauthorized stores, including smoke shops and other illegal businesses. Critical to this scheme was Arlesa Davis, a longtime USDA employee who worked within the very division of the USDA responsible for identifying SNAP fraud. Davis abused her privileged access to the federal system to sell hundreds of EBT license numbers, enabling over $36 million in fraudulent SNAP redemptions at unauthorized stores. Davis photographed handwritten list of license numbers intended for qualifying stores with her personal cell phone and funneled them to an intermediary who sold them to co-conspirators, who then used those licenses to fraudulently obtain the EBT terminals for stores that were not authorized by the USDA to process SNAP transactions. In return, Davis received substantial bribes that were disguised in communication as other things, birthday gifts and flowers. Yeah. Yeah. It just gets so better. It at some point, I don't even know why she would do this. You're going to prison. Over $30 million in fraud, and you receive gifts for this. These people defrauded the government. They defrauded us. And it just happened to be a black woman that was the head of this. Just happened to be at the forefront of this. And she was the only employee at the USDA. All the rest of these guys didn't even work there. They just, looking at their names, they look like they, based on that, I would assume, I don't know where they're from, but they were able to access these fraudulent terminals and set these things up. This is a mastermind scheme. And I would assume, because I haven't read all of it, but when in the big indictment and how they could go about what they were doing. But if you look at this, right, they looking at Davis is additionally charged with one kind of conspiracy. You 56 years old. You're looking at fraud, conspiracy to steal government funds and misappropriate USDA benefits. Maximum sentence, 5 years in prison. One count of theft of government funds carries a 10-year sentence, and then one count of misappropriation of USDA benefits will carry an additional 20. That's 35 years right there. And then on top of that, you got charged with an additional count of conspiracy to commit bribery, which carries a 5-year sentence. One count of bribery, which carries a maximum sentence of 15 years, and then one count of conspiracy to commit honest service wire fraud. So you're looking at you're looking at over 70 years in prison. That's a life. And you're 56 now. She's not gonna get all that time, but you're gonna do some. I mean, at the minimum, she's going to do at least 10. She's going to take a plea. There's no way out of this. You ain't going to trial in this case and pleading. You're not going to plead not guilty to this. When they got you dead to right, she going to plea out. And she going to get some time. This woman is 56 years old. Lady, you probably have been working for the USDA for a while. You probably were coming up on retirement. Coming up on retirement age. Probably getting ready to take. And what if she took the severance? What if she was one of the ones that decided that they were just going to leave the government and get paid out to the end of the year? You done ruined all of that. Helping some people out to defraud the government. I don't get it. It's already hard, right? And we just talked about what Brandon Johnson was doing in Chicago in regards to how he was hiring. And then we have this case here that makes it seem like those hires, right, could come under scrutiny. Because of stuff like this. We got people now, people gonna look at this and say, oh, she was a DE&I hire. Her LinkedIn photo, people have been posting it online, showing who she is. And it's sad. It's sad. It's sad. It is absolutely sad. It is sad. I'm gonna show y'all this picture. I got to. Hold on. Let me pull this up real quick because you all got to see this. All right. I gotta pull this up. I gotta pull it up because I wouldn't be doing my job. All right. This is the program director, y'all. All right. Let me see if I can pull it up. I don't know whose Instagram this is, but they got the picture. So, but this is, hold on. This is from a Muse News. So I'm going to see if this is going to pull up. Let's see what it's going to pull up. Y'all see that? Yeah, there she go. That's her right there. Let's click on that picture right there. That's her. Go to the link there. Oh, it don't exist no more. Page don't exist no more. It don't exist. She'd have deleted the link there. But that's it right there. That's her. This is her. The lady who's committed food stamp fraud. I thought I'd just show y'all that real quick. Because I wouldn't be doing my due diligence if I didn't. You're looking at over 70 years in prison. Probably going to do at least 10. Ruined your life. Ruined your career in the government. Ruined your pension. All to defraud the government and get caught. And I don't know if Doge was the one that caught it. But we know that this is what Doge was supposed to be doing. Going after massive fraud. And here you have the lady that's in charge of the program that's supposed to be going after fraud is the one that's defrauding the government. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about this. Because I'll be eager to see what y'all say. But that's it for the show. I thank you all so much for tuning in. Until next time, Culture Nation. Keep it culture. Subscribe. And I'll see you all next time.